Hey everybody, it's a beautiful day to yap and hopefully solve your problems of boredom by watching me.
Alright everybody, it's a beautiful night to save lives.
I feel like the closer you get to 18, the closer you age. And I know what you're probably thinking.
I'm insane.
But here's my theory, okay? So you know how in Matrix, if you have watched Matrix, what are you doing? Sit down, go on some pirated site and watch freaking Matrix. So you know how in the Matrix, there is a world that isn't actually real, but it's like this fake world that people have been downloaded into and they're basically controlled by a machine, right? How I kind of see childhood, especially if you had a good childhood. If you had a good childhood, you're probably not aware of a lot of things. As you start to age, there are certain things that start to come into your brain. You start thinking about your future. And the reason why the closer you are to 18, time moves faster is because you're more aware of your time now. And you're more aware of the world. 16 years of my life, I was like so unaware of like how much time I had. I was just constantly wasting time. I didn't value time as much as I do now. But when you start to value time, you start to realize how little amount of time you have in a 24-hour landscape. That's when things come into perspective and your priorities are set straight. My theory is like kind of like the Matrix. You have to go through a certain like simulation to like wake up, and then once you wake up, you're like out of the machine and you get to see the world for what it really is kind of how I feel about like childhood and stuff like that. Again, if you had a good childhood and like you were able to like stay innocent and stay in your childhood, there are stages that you go through, right? And like, you know, first is like childhood, adolescence, and then adulthood. The reason why I say closer to 18 is when time passes quicker is because that 18 is like the legal age of adulthood, but it's also the age where you're entering into the real world for the first time, graduating high school. For the most part, that age is like a transitionary age because you are either, again, going into the real world, getting a job, or you're going to higher education, so going to college, and so you have so much more responsibility, have so much things that you have to be worrying about. In retrospect, when you're younger, from like freshman year to like junior year, not really focused on anything really for the most part, except enjoying your youth and enjoying high school, because that's what people tell you. The reason why they tell you this is because senior year is when things get serious and you need to start looking to your future. And that's why time passes by quicker, because you have so much life events going on, usually senior year. And then after senior year, college is like literally hustle city. Like I can go on and on about college and how much of a hustle mentality you have to have in college. Really this like on and on and on and on and on continuous process of working towards something. After the closer you turn 18 is when you start to build towards your future, you know? So that's why I feel like the time goes by so fast, because now it's like you're awake because you're realizing like, okay, when you're 17, 18, usually 17, which is pretty close to 18, you're starting to realize like, oh, I have to worry about my financial stability when I'm older. I have to worry about like what I'm going to do for my future. Because I had really great parents, they always emphasize like enjoying my youth and enjoying this time that I have in high school, which I wish I did more, you know, and I wish I took things less seriously, but also probably more seriously now that I think about it. I wish I took things way more seriously than I did, actually. But the point is, I'm traumatized. That's why time is passing by, because you're now cognizant of the fact that you have responsibilities in this life, or, you know, when you become 18, you're starting to be held more responsible for your own life. Therefore, again, time is going to pass by faster because there are things that you should be actively working towards. I guess for me, that's when I feel like my brain really awakened to the fact that I'm in my adulthood and I have to make choices for myself now. And it isn't just choices that really don't affect things in the grand scheme. Some parents aren't parents and they put their parental duties onto their children, and so their children have to be adults very young in their lives. Like that wasn't my childhood. Like I had a pretty good childhood. Sorry, I don't mean to be rude. Please just get what I'm saying. I'm trying to make a point here. I could just be a kid for like 16 years of my life. Realize when I turned 17 that there was a responsibility that I had to myself to start thinking about my future, because I was turning 18 and I was going to college or not going to college. And so I had all these options that I had to start thinking about what my life would look like outside of the bubble that is high school, where you, again, don't really have to make choices that affect your future in the long terms of things for the most part in high school. So once you get out of high school, now that's when you're really like working towards what is gonna get me, you know, financial security, what's going to help me sustain a life for myself, it's gonna pay my bills. We get closer to 18, you know, time starts to speed up. It just comes into perspective, like after you graduate high school, what it means to kind of be an adult. Like you're starting to realize certain liberties and when you're making these adult decisions. As that kind of starts to occur, then it's like, okay, so I have to get my stuff together, try to navigate what this life is post high school and post people telling me, like teachers telling me what to do. Now I have to figure out my own life. That's why I feel like time speeds up. And I'm telling you, like time, I literally just got on this college break. It's already January, baby. Like it's already January and I'm like, wait a second. It was like the 17th of December when I came back from break, and now it's literally the 3rd of January. Like I wake up at 8 and I still feel like I'm not waking up early enough. Like I think I have to wake up at like 5 a.m. to get stuff done, because I'm telling you, from 5 to like a certain amount of time, there's just like, it really, the day goes by so fast. I'm telling you, when you have so much goals that you want to achieve, and also just
Life is lifing. Like,
let me stay at 18 for a little bit longer. I'm already like almost halfway through 18. Like, calm down, time. Not too much time. Like, time, where were you 16 years of my life when I was enjoying life and things were breezy? Everything felt like carefree. And when you also live in this air of like, you don't have any responsibilities, life is carefree, that's probably the era of your childhood where you're wasting the most time and you don't really realize that time is passing by so fast. But then when you really want to get serious about your life, that's when time is like, nah, you're gonna have to catch up. Something my brother said was like, I told him something of this effect, like, time is passing by so fast, oh my gosh, time is passing by so fast. And my brother was like, it's because you're letting time control you instead of you controlling your time. And I am struggling with that. That's why also when you're an adult too, you have to get organized. And I'm the hypocrite of this because I'm still not organized. Time is still kicking my butt because I was supposed to do, so I had a schedule that I posted that I was trying to stick to, and I have not stick to that schedule. Oh, and I have to, like, I literally have to stick to that schedule and I still haven't. And probably tomorrow, and I say tomorrow and then it never happens. And I'm supposed to call people too. Like, I was supposed to call so much people that I haven't called yet. And it's just like, girl, get it together. Get it together. The closer you are to 18 is when you become adult, and that's when time starts to kick because you're actually taking your life seriously. And this is like my rant. Man, 18 has been kicking my butt because, like, one thing is time is not waiting for anybody. That's why you have to be organized, and that's why you have to be proactive and use every hour of the day to do something and just be on schedule. And I just have to also take less time to do things, which is something that I hope to work on in 2025. But this is the video.